Hello students. In this video, we're going to take a closer look at the incredible world of plants, specifically focusing on how they reproduce sexually. First, let's talk about the male parts of a flower. These are known as the stamens. Think of the stamen as a little stalk that's topped with an important structure called the anther. This anther is where pollen is produced. Pollen might look like a fine powder, but it's actually full of male reproductive cells, also known as male gametes. These tiny grains of pollen are essential for the reproduction process. Now, onto the female parts of the flower, which are collectively called the pistil, or sometimes referred to as the carpels. The pistil is made up of three main parts. At the very top is the stigma, which is sticky as it needs to catch the pollen. Below the stigma is the style, a slender tube that leads down to the ovary. The ovary contains the ovules, which are the female gametes. Not all flowers are the same when it comes to their reproductive structures. Some flowers are unisexual, meaning they have either male or female parts, but not both. For example, flowers on watermelon and cucumber plants have separate male and female flowers. On the other hand, some flowers are bisexual or perfect flowers, because they contain both male and female parts in the same flower. Roses and sunflowers are great examples of these. Now that we understand the parts of the flower, let's talk about how these parts work together in the process of sexual reproduction in plants. This process involves three main steps: pollination, fertilization, and seed development. Pollination is where it all begins. It's the transfer of pollen from one flower to another, which is essential for the production of seeds. Pollination can happen in two main ways. In some cases, a flower can pollinate itself or another flower on the same plant. This is called self-pollination. But many plants rely on cross-pollination, where pollen from one plant is transferred to a different plant. Cross-pollination helps increase genetic diversity, which can lead to healthier plants. But how does pollen actually get from one flower to another? This is where the agents of pollination come in. Insects like bees and butterflies are some of the most well-known pollinators. They're attracted to bright colors and sweet smells, and as they move from flower to flower collecting nectar, they inadvertently transfer pollen. Birds, especially hummingbirds, also play a role in pollination. As they sip nectar from flowers, they pick up pollen on their feathers and beaks, helping to spread it to other flowers. Wind can be a pollinator too, especially for plants like grasses, where the lightweight pollen is carried by the breeze. Some aquatic plants even rely on water to carry pollen from one flower to another. Once pollination has taken place, the next step is fertilization. This is when the male and female reproductive cells combine to form a zygote. After pollen lands on the stigma, it grows a pollen tube down through the style to the ovary. The male reproductive cells travel through this tube to reach the ovule, where fertilization occurs. The fertilized ovule will develop into a seed, which contains a new plant embryo ready to grow. After fertilization, the ovule transforms into a seed, and the ovary often becomes a fruit, which helps protect and disperse the seeds. Seeds are spread to new locations through various methods, a process known as seed dispersal. Wind dispersal is common for lightweight seeds like those from dandelions, which can float far away. Water dispersal is used by plants like coconuts, which can travel across oceans. Animals also play a big role in seed dispersal, either by carrying seeds on their fur or by eating fruits and later depositing the seeds in different locations. Some plants even have seeds that are dispersed by explosion, where the seed pods burst open, flinging seeds far from the parent plant. Finally, we have germination, the process where a seed grows into a new plant. For germination to begin, the seed needs the right conditions, usually moisture and warmth. Once the seed absorbs water, it begins to swell and eventually cracks open. A tiny root emerges first, growing downward to anchor the plant and absorb water and nutrients from the soil. Then, a shoot grows upward, reaching for the light. The first leaves, called cotyledons, appear and start the process of photosynthesis, which provides the young plant with the energy it needs to grow. Each of these steps in plant reproduction is vital to the continuation of plant life. Now, try answering this question. Name a flower that has both male and female parts. Please share your answer in the comments below. The complete curriculum for Class 7 is available on our channel. Check out all the links provided in the description below. Please make sure to like, share, and comment for more such videos.